Matt, from out of the shadows, not only comes me and you, or you and I, sorry, that's proper English, comes patch 1.5 for Cyberpunk 2077, which is actually the next-gen version, which was kind of out of the shadows, but also leaked yesterday, so wasn't that much of a surprise, but it is a welcome surprise. That was not a massive surprise.
Not a massive one, right? But it was, like you say, it's very welcome. We've been waiting on this for a long time.
We have. Right, we're going to jump straight into the FPS stuff. And what we've got here is the ray tracing mode, which is 30, which is, according to the menu, 30 FPS with dynamic 4K scaling with photorealistic rendering of shadows and reflections, versus the 60 FPS in performance mode with dynamic 4K scaling.
Okay.
But as you can see, there are dips on the performance mode.
Yeah, it's not super stable, right?
No, it's not. The ray tracing mode is, I would say, 95% stable. I think it dropped the odd frame here and there.
It's a pretty straight line, though, isn't it? Like,
it is, but this is why I did the racing and stuff like that. The racing, just driving through the city, because then it has to kind of basically load in the entire world.
Yeah.
And I thought, because of the new driving mechanics that they put into the game, I'd test those out and also see how good it is with kind of data streaming and stuff like that. It's okay. But what we can see here is the last gen and the next gen.
Okay.
So the last gen is the 1X PS4 Pro version versus the next gen. This was captured on the Series X, and this is in ray tracing mode. And this is both the modes.
Okay. I mean, it looks crisper, didn't it, on the next gen version? Maybe more than I was expecting, actually.
Yeah, and I was shocked. When I was capturing it, I was like, I mean, I can't really tell the difference. But now I've put it side by side, I'm actually like, okay, great. I mean, you can actually see in the window on the back the ray tracing, which is the smoke.
Oh,
I mean, it
nice.
doesn't look fantastic, but looks a little bit pixelated. But that's what comes with the ray tracing. But I'm not sure about ray tracing versus performance mode, because I don't really see many differences. I do between this and last gen, although I'll be honest, it's not as much of a jump as I was expecting or even wanted.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, yeah, because I think we were expecting a big jump, right? Because it always felt like these games were meant to come out on PS5 and Series X first, if anything, right? Like, judging by the last gen performance.
But like, look at the colour, because it's the ray tracing, it's the real-time lighting and all that things.
Yeah.
Environments seem a lot more kind of vibrant and natural in terms of they're a lot darker and dingier as well.
You've got darker shadows, right, and brighter lights. Like it's that more sort of realistic darkness and light, as opposed to this, which has got that sort of like smoky effect almost.
Yeah, it's a little bit washed out as well, right? Whereas this, super crisp. I mean, it's not a massive jump from last gen to next gen, but it is a jump.
Yeah,
it's more of a hop, I would say.
It's a change, isn't it?
It is.
I don't automatically think this looks better, weirdly, but it's like a stylistic thing, right? When you darker darks, lighter lights.
Yeah, for sure. And the colours seem to be more vibrant as well.
Yeah.
These are the same settings on both kind of things. But the best thing that I found, Matt, was that I was able to get the exact same shots that we took in our video in December 2020, would it have been? Yeah, it would have been, right?
Yeah, it would have been 2020. Yeah, you've been holding on to those, right?
Yeah, specifically for this one video, I can delete them all now. It's like a terabyte worth of videos. But yeah, here you go, look, right? So look at the vents straight up in the middle. Do you see that there's vents that have added new bits to the environment as well?
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I noticed that and I was like, oh, okay, so it isn't just colours and lighting and things like that. I've actually added specific things to the environment. Also, they've changed, I'm not how recent it is, they've changed the crosswalk signs as well. You might see them in another shot, but if not, just rewind. But they've changed those.
The animated ones?
Yeah, like the stop, the hand and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, well, I mean, that's almost bad though, isn't it? Because it feels like the game wasn't finished when it originally came out. It sort of seems like they finally got around to finishing a few bits and pieces that they didn't in time.
Board environment artists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Going, you know what? We should change the signs. But like, as you can see, like they're both fairly good versions. I think honestly, I'd probably play on performance because there isn't that much of a jump up.
No, it doesn't feel like it, right? And even with those drops here and there to like 55, it's still side by side. It looks so much smoother than the 30, right? Like.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously in these swipes we are using the 30 FPS, just because we thought it'd be more fair to compare 30 to 30. But yeah, I forgot how good looking this game is.
It's always had a really distinct visual style, right? And it has. It was never. It was a bad looking game on the base Xbox One and PS4, right? Like Awful. It actively looked bad, but once you were playing them on the sort of the mid-gen refreshes, it looked alright, and none of that's gone away, right? And it's all a little bit crisper, and the colours, like you say, are a little bit more saturated, or like it's a little bit better, but it's not the jump I was maybe expecting.
Right, look at the details on the stairs specifically in the bottom right as well. So
okay.
It seems like they've gone through and they've gone, right, okay, we need to add some more detail to the environment to make it more realistic. And they've done that across the board pretty much. Like, they must have spotted things. Like, here you go. If you look at the arms on the skip, you can actually see the shadows on the ray tracing version compared to the no shadows on the performance version.
Yeah. Good
so
pick.
Things like that with the lighting. It's amazing what you see because basically how I do these videos, Matt, is I layer them over the top of each other and I just turn one on and off until I can see the differences. So, and you can also see the lights on in the building on the right by the advertising sign.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know whether that's a time of day thing or what, but there are subtle differences, but like nothing that's going to blow your mind. And also you won't see it now because I'm going to mention it too late, but we see where it says Shipley's Pharmacy. If you compare that in the bottom left, if you compare that to the last gen version, in the last gen version it's too bright and you can't make out the text, where this feels more like neon signs. Here you go, you'll actually see it now. I forgot I put this in.
There you go.
So watch it when you swipes, like you can actually read the text.
Yeah.
So
This is actually definitely the shot that makes it look the best, I think. There's more depth in that sort of section of buildings around the Shipleys, right? Like, there's a darkness there that shows that it's a little bit in the corner, in the shadow, as opposed to that really bright light that was there before. And
also, right, I hate to interrupt, but brightness... Right. So there's the shadows of the waitress at the back?
Yes, yeah, I spotted
that. So that kind of stuff is, like, different. I mean, they do exist slightly on the last gen version, but they're definitely more kind of vibrant. But it does make a lot of the environments a lot darker. And I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, this is weird, right? It definitely looks different. I can see what they've done. But, like, there's less reflections off those little coin bits there that were just hanging down over the door as well. Like, it's a strange one. Yeah,
and as you can see, the environment looks a lot more kind of colourful, and you can see through the windows a lot clearer as well. Like, the little details, but I mean, like if you played it on the Series X or the PS5 when it came out with the back compat version, like I don't think you're going to get anything out of this new version, except there's a load of changes as well, subtle changes.
Okay.
And if you want to see the patch notes, I'm talking about the patch note stuff, as opposed to anything visually.
Yeah.
Check out our sites or obviously Cyberpunk sites, because there's like reams of text. But folks, that is the Cyberpunk 2077 next gen patch, which is maybe a touch disappointing, but it's out finally. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Cheers folks, goodbye.
Bye.